Kris, what did a good start and then didn't seem to be able to take hold of it after that?
Yeah, they kind of took over the game. They pressure the puck really well. They've been playing really good hockey, and you can see why. Since Slavin's come back, hardly given up anything. And I think they were just, quicker to pucks. I know they had almost twice as many shot attempts. A lot of that was shot attempt, recover, and that's typically their game. Like they usually have many more shots than the opposition. And, to counter that, you just need to recover those pucks.
This year, McDavid, Draisaitl together at 5-on-5, they're only +1 outscoring the opponents. Separate, they actually on each line have better numbers. I'm sure you look into it. What's kind of the thought process of when you go to it and maybe why it hasn't had the kind of the nuclear factor as much this year in the past?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You're hoping that it's going to break at some point, but get my finger on it. Obviously they spend a lot of time in the offensive zone, but a lot of it, I think it's, the probably plus minus. They spend a lot of time in the offensive zone. You don't get anything, and they have to counter and defend. Maybe tired. Maybe that's why they haven't been outscoring as much as they typically have. And I think probably the biggest the downtrend would be the just obviously not scoring as often as they used to. Usually they would, they'd score quite a bit, but obviously it's hasn't been the same this year.
Kris, there's been a lot of playing from behind, especially some home games, and I realize you've rallied and got points out of some of those, but is there something missing early in games? Like there seems to be desperation when you're down 2. How do you get that earlier in a game and maybe play with the lead for a while?
Well, tonight we did have the lead. Unfortunately, we gave it up right away with 2 goals almost immediately after we had the lead. And, obviously it's very easier to play with the lead, but I don't have an answer for that.
Did the 3 new players do what they were advertised to do you think, tonight?
No, I think those 3 guys had a good start. The Dickinson line was probably our best line tonight. I thought he was very good on the penalty kill. Doc had several hits. I know the plus minus doesn't look good for that 4th line, but they were really close to, one, Doc I believe hit the goalpost in the first period, maybe the second, but he had a good shot opportunity. Freddie almost tied the game in the 3rd period. So I know the stats doesn't say that they had a very good game, but I thought they did. And Murph was solid. I thought part of his game is adding to our penalty kill, and for his first game, I thought he looked very comfortable there.
The way that you want this team to defend, like your guys' philosophy, the stuff you're coaching, how would you describe that, and where do you think it's lacking? Like, where is the follow-through not there from the players?
Obviously there's many points that need to be improved, and we talked about giving up fewer chances from the slot. Those are the biggest, most dangerous ones. And I think that was the focus after the break. We altered some things, and I believe we're giving up fewer of those, but we're giving up more from the outside. And you rely on more saves, more block shots. I'm not sure we're getting that part of it. Off the rush is obviously a very big part of offense, and I think we've been doing a much better job in the last about 15, 20 games in that area. But, I think every night it's a different story, whether it's just puck management, whether it's getting a block, whether it's just losing assignments.
This group's done it before, the core group. You guys know what rock-solid defensive hockey sort of looks and feels like. Is this as far away from that as you felt this season? And what's the path back to it here, Kris? Is it like, how do you get this back?
Yeah, think about a couple of years ago when we had our 6-game winning streak. The defensive game there was rock solid and not giving up very much. This year, obviously, this has been a downfall for us. Is how many games we've given up 3-4 plus goals, and you just can't win doing that. And we've tried to come up with solutions. We've tried to adjust some things, but hopefully that this is something new that they're still adapting to.
Kris, how would you assess your goaltending tonight?
Yeah, I think it was fine. I think he gave us some opportunities to get back in the game. He made some big saves, and anytime you see 6 goals, you're pretty disappointed. I guess 5 on him, but yeah, I think I don't fault him for tonight's loss at all.
Kris, Henrique stopped a shot, looked like on his knee. How is he?
I don't have a report on that. Obviously, he wasn't feeling well enough to come back tonight, and tomorrow we'll probably have a better, more information on how he's doing.
Zach Hyman says that Carolina plays the same game, whether it's game 60 or the first game of the playoffs. He says his team's still trying to find their game. Is it about time the Oilers start to play as well as they talk? Oh, we'll get the game back, we'll just play well the next game. This lose a game, win a game, lose, win. Not good enough at this time of year?
Yeah, obviously we need to find it and put together wins. And we've been, we've only got 20 games left, and we're on the brink of not making the playoffs. So, yeah, we can't just wait to find our game in the playoffs because we need to ultimately get there. So we need to find another gear.